What's up, duelists? Today I'm going to be playing my take on Flamvells. This is a deck that I haven't had any success with at all, but I know a few other players who kind of swear by it, and I'm going to be trying it out today. I'm trying out a few new techs, trying out Imperial Iron Wall in the main, as well as Ryza over Caius. There's a few cute synergies with Imperial Iron Wall in this deck, and I think it's pretty good against the current metagame. There's a lot of people playing Miracle Fusion and Vayu in their deck. Imperial Iron Wall does a great job against those cards. Imperial Iron Wall also does a great job against cards like Deep Prison and Caius, which are cards that answer Stardust Dragon. Stardust Dragon plus Imperial Iron Wall is a pretty big defensive board in this format. Not much can really take it on. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon can't be special summoned from the hand because you can't banish a dragon. Dark Arm Dragon, well, that does run you over, but you know, maybe if you have a trap for it, they can't pop anything. Maybe if you have a backup Wind Blast or Mirror Force, or even a Book of Moon or Enemy Controller, they can't do anything about it. You can't Vayu, you can't really Caius, you can't Deprison, you can't do all those things. You can't DD Crow my Stardust, so I think that if there's ever a deck where Imperial Iron Wall is going to shine, it's going to be here. Also, if you have Rekindling and you bring back your monsters, let's say you bring back a couple Flamvell Magicians, you can't really convert them. Thankfully, they won't get banished at the end phase if you have a face-up Imperial Iron Wall. And then the last little synergy is, of course, Plague Spreader Zombie. Plague Spreader Zombie is an infinite level 2 tuner that you can keep bringing back because Imperial Iron Wall keeps him from being banished. I think it's a pretty interesting card. I'm going to play around with it a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure how good it actually is, but conceptually, I think it's pretty good in this deck. That's why we have Ryzes as well over the Caiuses, is because Caius obviously conflicts with the Iron Wall, and I think Ryze is actually pretty good in this format too. Got 2 Cyber Dragons in the main. This is to help play around Bottomless. Otherwise, our deck is pretty slow and weak to Bottomless Trap Hole. Got Trag and Gores for defense, as well as some defensive traps. No Bottomless or no Deep Prison, because, of course, can't really maximize on that with the Imperial Iron Walls. I kind of wanted to lean more into, like, position switching cards, like Enemy Controller, Book of Moon, to help maximize our Fire Dogs. And then Phoenix Wing Wind Blast to maybe set up our grave for a big Rekindling or put a Plague Spreader down that gets stuck in our hand. Got a couple of Thunder King Riles. These are good catch-alls. Got your Natural Sweepers and Mind Brain. Enemy Controller is like kind of a third Mind or Brain to help you convert off of these Flamvell Magicians. You can do stuff like Summon Magician, Enemy Controller take, then Rekindling back the Magician, Synchro. It's not the best. It's still a, 2 for, 3 for 2 or something, but gets the job done. In the sideboard, I've got 1 Electric Virus, 1 Battle Fader, 3 DD Crows for the hand traps. I've got 1 Vanity's Fiend. I was playing 2, but I found that it was pretty hard to support 2. I've got 2 Raikos. These are just catch-alls. I'm not maining them. I think Blind Milling is actually not as good as it maybe seems in this deck. They can help remove some problem cards like Royal Oppression. Got 2 Sirokkos for Black Wings and Vayu. This card's really cool. You can side it in the mirror matches and stuff. If you summon it, you get to pump all of Blackwing monsters in play onto itself. That counts all of your opponent's Blackwing monsters as well. If your opponent goes too low, a Sirocco can be like a late game OTK piece. And then I've got a cool tech, is the Deck Devastation Viruses. If I do side in the Vanities and the Sirokkos, I can also side in the Deck Devastation Virus. This works with both Gores and Trag in the main, as well as Dark End and Colossal, and actually most of the level 8s except Stardust. It helps improve the Fairy matchup. It also helps improve other matchups like Quick Draw, which can sometimes be a problem. Mind Crush is great against combo decks. Extra Dust Tornadoes just for back row removal, and then extra Starlight Road for things like Icarus Attack or Torrential Tribute or big sweeper decks like Black Rose summoning decks and whatnot. Gonna get into the match here in a second. Make sure and like and subscribe. It honestly really helps the channel out. I'm trying to take this really far this year. I'm trying to do as much as possible with Edison format. Tons of locals are popping up. Check out the local spreadsheet in the description below. Join the Discords, play with your friends, That's what this is all about, really. That's what this format's all about. It's just playing a fun format with your friends, not really having to spend thousands of dollars on a deck, but getting together, getting community together. It's what it's all about. So let's centralize a little bit. Let's get some likes and subscribes and some comments on this video. Anyway, see you guys in the match. We've got a game versus Plazer V. Damn, he picked Rock. I don't recognize the card in his avatar. I think that might have mixed me up. I also think the card on his sleeves is banned, if I remember correctly. Oh, he's letting me go first. That's strange. That's very strange. I'll probably just start off with Set Book Pass. We've got a really good hand, but we can tempo flip on the next turn. Something like a True Nade, Cyber Dragon, Fire Dog, that kind of thing. Upstart Goblin, okay. Gonna give us 1,000 life points here. I wonder what kind of deck wants to go second. I'm pretty sure there's no deck that wants to go second in this entire format. That's good. Okay, they pitch Blue Eyes. Interesting, interesting. Maybe they're on Dragon Turbo and think they want to go second. You never want to go second in this format. You always want to go first. There's actually zero reason. Just drawing that extra card is so big, and that's pretty much it. You just never want to go second. I don't know how to say it in any other way, really. You just don't want to do it. Another trade in from the opponent. Okay, discarding White Knight. Looks like they're on some sort of Dragon Turbo deck. Interesting. Rejuvenation is now drawing 2 cards. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. If they summon a dragon, I'm going to consider booking it. They selected my back row. Okay. I'll give them a question mark. What are you doing? I will book this. Yeah, no red eyes for you. No red eyes. No red eyes, no instant fusion shenanigans, none of that. We are gonna do some broken stuff on our turn. I think I want to make Colossal Fighter. That's it, pretty much. End phase. Super Juve. Okay, for 2. That's fine. That's fine. It's not a great thing for me, obviously, but whatever. It could be a lot worse. Man, I wish I would have had that first turn, but oh well, here we are. Okay, we've got Cyber Dragon plus Fire Dog into Flamvell Magician. Our Truenade's going to be pretty much dead, but we can make double 8-star. And I think that's what we're going to do. We might even make double Colossal. We'll see. We'll see. Let's go ahead and special out the Cyber Dragon, normal out the Fire Dog. Fire Dog's going to attack over the set monster, and then that's going to get our effect. Fire Dog effect, and they're going to be able to search a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Okay, cool. If they search Blue Eyes, then we get to summon Magician. This is going to be 3,500 direct, which is good damage. They may yet have Gores. If they have Trag, that's problematic. But they may yet have Gores. Okay, it looks like they don't have Trag. Otherwise, they would have dropped it first. Oh, they do. That changes things. That changes things. We might not even make a synchro at this point. Thanks though, Blazer. Thanks though. Thanks. I mean, you know, gotta respect it. Gotta respect it. We might not even make a synchro because they can just take it. I think that's the plan. Unfortunately, we can't make Dark End with anything we have here. All right, Trag's pretty good. Guess we just have to set our Trunade and pass, and that's where we're at. That's where we're at. We know he has Blue Eyes, so making a Stardust Dragon, making an 8-star is just giving our opponent a synchro for free and letting them discard an 8-star, which may fuel like a rejuvenation that otherwise would be dead because they've already used 2 of their trade-ins. I think that this may look awkward, this may look wrong, quote unquote, but it's just playing around what we know the opponent has. They may still kill us from this position, but we're at 9,000. We have a lot of buffers against their OTK, and then we have Rekindling to maybe try and mount a comeback on our turn. Maybe the Plague Spreader can amount to something. Upstart Goblin. Okay, we're going to go to 10,000. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. You'll love to see it. Going up in life points is always good against the OTK decks. This matchup's going to be rough. We got to find an early Stardust plus Iron Wall. Ooh, another upstart. Going up to 11,000. That's really, really good. They found the 3rd trade-in. I mean, it's not too unreasonable. They're halfway through their deck, but dang. That sucks for us. They're able to find all these new cards. They definitely have a lot of action. I know they for sure have Red Eyes because of the way they summon Whitestone. So they probably have Red Eyes for sure. Whether or not they have 2 Red Eyes is the question. That'd be a realistic thing to expect. Maybe a Debris Dragon and whatnot. Okay, here's a Flamvell Guard. That's going to be okay. Their Trag is still absolutely massive. Banishes for Red Eyes. This is also okay. The Red Eyes effect is going to be okay. So now their Trag is down to 3,000, which is good. That's good for us, I think. Copium. We've got to figure out a way to... So if we don't die this turn, which I don't think we can. I legit don't think we can die this turn. They've already normal summoned. Even if they summon another Red Eyes, I think we're still good. Because their Trag drops in attack points, and we're at 11,000, and we have 3 life point buffers. We're going to be looking at doing something like maybe Rekindling. I wonder what our other normal summon's going to be. It's going to be tough. This is going to be tough, legitimately. Okay, we're going to take... This is going to do 900. And then Red Eyes over the Magician is going to be 1,400. I got to do another 1,000. Okay, cool. We need to out this board somehow. But I I think we should be okay to do it. They might set back row to try and activate their White Knight Dragon's effect, but they also might not. Even if they do, we have the True Nade to clear it, so I'm not too worried about that. It's just leaving this Red Eyes in play is kind of a bitch. Okay, Magical Stone Excavation. This is going to ditch Blue Eyes and Red Eyes Wyvern. Okay, so they're playing Wyvern. I know this deck doesn't normally play Wyvern. They've discarded 3 dragons this turn, which means they're going to turn that into a nice little draw 3. We need to draw something good here. I'm interested why they go to end phase before activating this. Like, I guess it doesn't really matter because the draws are during the end phase anyway, but I'm curious if there's a reason why they would activate it in the end phase as opposed to, like, in the main phase. All right, they have a 3,000 Tragodia. We have an 8-star Synchro. That's literally all we have. That's really tough. That's really, really tough. We could also make a 6-star Synchro, but none of the 6 stars are doing it for us. Let's see. It could be like crash into Red Eyes and then just hope they don't play any more 8 stars. They have 3 Blue Eyes in grave and White Knight in play. They might not play anymore. Might not play any more 8 stars to be able to steal it with Tragodia. And then we can kind of infinitely wall out. That might be the best plan. Otherwise, that's not a great plan either because it loses to Drago. The other plan is to go for... No, I think that's the only move. I think that's the only move. We just have to pray they don't have Drago. And then we can set a spy alongside it too, which isn't bad. And that can set up for a big turn next turn where we have Plague plus Spy. Okay, I like that. I mean, I don't love it, but it's what we got to do here. It's what we got to do. Let's rekindling back our boys. Let's go ahead and make a Colossal Fighter. Colossal Fighter is going to be 2,800. There's no warriors in grave. This is going to attack the Red Eyes. It's going to die. It's going to activate in the grave. It's going to special summon itself back. And then, main phase 2, we're going to set Gravekeeper Spy and pass the turn. Tough. Tough. Because they could for sure just have some other shit to kill me here. Even like passing isn't the worst because we can't really do anything about their board as of right now. They might have preemptively gone for an OTK. I think they could have waited another turn. Like held back on using the Red Eyes, but I don't know what their hand is. Maybe they have like ways to recur it or something. We'll see. We're not in a great spot. They have like a really good board that we have to answer. None of our cards answer it. And then on top of that, they have another 6 cards in hand for follow-up. Maybe there's like Debris Dragon in that deck, I think is for sure a card in that deck. Card of Consonance, which could be a dead card. They've seen 2 of their Dragon Tuners, which are 2 of the targets to that. They could also have Card Trooper. Gores could be another card in their hand. That could be a brick. Heavy Storm, Giant Trunade. They might be holding off on using those because they don't want to weaken their Trag. I guess we'll see. They could always use an extra deck monster with Tragodia to out my Colossal Fighter as well. They don't have any level 7s in grave, which would be ideal because they could debris back a Whitestone or normal summon Whitestone and then make Trag a level 7 and then make Dark End to pop the Colossal Fighter. This has been a tricky game for sure to navigate. Obviously, the first turn was kind of rough. We resolved Fire Dog and then it didn't really amount to much. And that's honestly one of the biggest weaknesses with this deck in general, is that the 8 stars in this format are pretty fucking bad. They're just not good in general. Okay, there's Cards of Consonance, which is something we kind of anticipated, and that's going to pitch a Whitestone. All 3 Blue Eyes are gone, though, so they're not going to be able to get the +1. They're just going to get a fresh 2 cards. Them thinking about what they could do there made me think that they maybe do have another Red Eyes in hand. They're probably realizing that Red Eyes doesn't out the Colossal without Drago. They need to find Drago in order to out this. Of course, if they do find it, I mean, we're just fucked. They have 2 ways to find it, I believe. I believe they have the actual Drago itself, and then they have Future Fusion, which of course finds it if you have Red Eyes. What would be the best draw for us? I think Mirror Force might be the best draw for us, because it just breaks both of these cards. We could also just hope the opponent does nothing. Okay, we'll take our 800 points here. No big deal. And then just have it come back again. And click thumbs up. White Knight is attacking the set monster. Okay, this is going to activate our Spy. And this is going to special summon the Descendant from our deck. The reason we want the Descendant is because we want to be able to summon our Spy and pop their monsters. Not sure which ones we want to pop, though. That's the tricky part. I'm surprised they attacked the set monster at all. That's something I'm very surprised about. Ooh, Rise is pretty good. Rise is pretty good. That can give us follow-up later down the line. I need to think here. If we make Yugioh Guardian, that doesn't do anything. If we make Bryonic, it doesn't do anything. So I think we can just use Descendant to kind of trade off with the Tragodia, maybe? Tragodia is the bigger threat. Because if they want to summon Red Eyes, they'll have to banish their White Knight and play, and then they won't have a 3000 plus a Drago. Okay, I'm not hating this. I'm not loving it either, but it does work. Let's go ahead and out the Tragodia. They also can't recur the Tragodia as easily as they can recur the White Knight Dragon. The White Knight Dragon, it's pretty easy for them to bring back with just, what is that card? What is it called? You know what I'm talking about. You know the card I'm talking about. Red Eyes Darkness Metal. There we go. There's the Avarice. That's brutal. Yeah, that's really, really brutal. They're going to shuffle back probably... I'm surprised they didn't bring back Red Eyes. I guess it makes sense because we have Colossal, but they just didn't want to waste it. They're going to shuffle back the Red Eyes. That's very interesting. Red Eyes, Trag, Blue Eyes, probably Whitestone. You really only want one Whitestone here. This matchup seems really bad. I don't know how to put it any other way, but it just... We're hanging in here, but it's not looking great for your boy. I'm going to be honest. If we could maybe spin the White Knight Dragon, we might be in a spot where we can maybe mount a comeback of sorts, but I just don't see it. They're just trying to find Drago or a way to out the Colossal Fighter main deck, which includes Bryonic, and I think that's it, really. I think that's all we're looking at. 2 new draws. The opponent has a fuck ton of cards in hand. They have 8 cards in hand. Hopefully they're just all dead. That's the prage, right? That's the wishes, the well wishes. Our graveyard is kind of okay. Kind of all right. Not really that great. Wish it was a little better. Okay, White Knight is going to be able to run over the Descendant. Goodbye, Descendant. You served us well. Traded 1-for-1 with the Trag. We are down so many cards, it's not even funny. Opponent's probably going to set a card to just maintain it. I could see that happening here. Yep, there's the set card for maintenance. 2 set cards, actually. Interesting. I wonder what they set here. And they're setting a monster as well. Solemn's pretty good. Does it do it for us, though? Not really. Let's attack the set monster. I don't think that deck plays traps. And if they flip a Mirror Force here, whatever. Wow, they set Debris Dragon. That's interesting. I wonder if they have a Pot of Avarice. They might have done that because they have a Pot of Avarice. All right, let's set our Solemn and we'll pass. We don't need to Solemn unless the opponent goes for something crazy. Main phase 1 is okay. And then we'll Solemn if they go for like any sort of Red Med Drago kind of thing. Battle phase. Okay, we're going to take 200 and then we're going to bring it back. Last turn they could have redirected our Colossal attack. I wonder if they knew that. All right, now we need to do some serious thinking. We can Ryza, spin the White Knight, guarantee they dead draw next turn, and do all that. Or we can just set Plague, set Force, and pass. I think we can wait one more turn. I think we can wait. I want to Ryza the White Knight, ideally. If they drew into Trag again, though, that's so fucking annoying. Heavy Storm. Well, we've got a Solemn Judgment that, unfortunately. If they attack with the White Knight, do we let it happen? I think we force. I think we actually genuinely Mirror Force here. I think that's the plan. We can pressure with Colossal Fighter, main phase 2, Ryza whatever they do for defense. I don't hate this. What's the opponent doing? Destroy. Yeah, even though Mirror Force only is destroying one monster here, it still doesn't target. Like Dark Hole or Regeki, it doesn't target. Interesting that this is a ruling point of question. But thankfully our opponent is amicable and decides to be understanding here. Much appreciated from the opponent. He does now have 5 monsters. He could Pot of Avarice if he wanted to. I wonder if that's what he's thinking about doing. Oh, he's setting a monster. Okay. Okay, in that case, let's Ryza the set monster. Oh, let's True Nade first. Oh, True Nade plays into Gores. Do we want to Rise of the Set monster or the back row? That's another good question. These are all good questions. Unfortunately, I don't have the answers for them. I think we'll just go for the 2-turn clock, as they say. The 2-turn clock. We'll attack directly for 2400 with Ryza. If they drop Tragodia, we'll be able to attack over it. I'll say anything. I didn't attack with Colossal, but alright, fuck it. I'll attack with Colossal. I'll set the Dust Tornado, and then I'll pass. If we need to stack something for Plague, I can always True Nade back the Dust Tornado. Giant True Nade. Okay. Giant True Nade is gonna happen. They're gonna be able to pick up their card. Card destruction here. Okay. 2 graveyard. 2 graveyard. They need to find something good. Torrential Iron Wall, not great. Not great. Would have loved to draw a monster. If they break our board but can't kill us, how many cards do they discard here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cards. 6 new cards. Can our opponent put together a win? Their hand was really bad. And they did have Gores, and they set cards behind their Gores. Interesting. Okay, here's Pot of Avarice. That's very good for the opponent. They're going to be able to shuffle back all their live cards. They might not want to shuffle back the Gores now that they're at 1400. They'll probably shuffle back Double Debris, White Knight. Looks like a Blue Eyes got shuffled back. There goes the first Debris. There goes the second Debris. So that's 3. Maybe White Knight, White Stone. I could see something like that. Might want to leave the White Knight. We'll see. We'll see. Pot of Avarice is very good in this deck. Just a nice little way to keep the gas. Put foot on the gas pedal. If the opponent can't put something together, I'd be really surprised. I'd be really, really surprised. The deck, it really is all gas, no breaks. So if they have actual nothing in their 7-card hand, I'll be really, really impressed. Let me ponder here. What are 7 dead cards they could have? They could have Red Eyes with no normal summon. They could have Future Fusion. They could have the 3rd Super Rejuvenation, multiple card of consonants with no target. They could have, I don't know. I don't know what they could have. Most of their deck is live. Magical Stone is great. Magical Stone, get back Pot of Avarice is great. Or even Card Destruction. Not bad. Opponent is really thinking. They might have Instant Fusion. I think that's probably why they're looking at their extra deck so much. Because the only way they can really synchro with that deck is by using Instant Fusion. So I could totally see that being something in their hand. They could Instant Fusion, maybe make a Bryonic and go for game somehow that way. Let's see. Can they do that realistically? If they have an Instant Fusion for a level 5, they can go Debris back Whitestone, Instant Fusion, make Bryonic, and then banish the Debris for a Red Med, and Red Med bring out Blue Eyes, and that would be super lethal. If they don't have Debris, if they just have Whitestone, then they're going to have to decide between Instant Fusion, or Bryonic or Red Med. Okay, they have a level 3, Dragoness the Wicked Knight. That's very interesting. Okay. Dragoness, Debris Dragon. So they do have the Debris, but they don't have a way to make a level 6. I wonder why they're playing Dragoness. Is this a way to, like, play around Gozen? No, because there's no level 7, like... Huh. And then it's not a dragon. So I guess it makes Armory Arm? That could kill me. If they have Armory Arm plus Red Med, that does kill me here. That for sure kills me. Because it'll be 3,800 points over either of my monsters. Let's see if Placer V has the Armory Arm or not. This is a different take. I think there's a few different cards in this list than the stock list. There's a Wyvern. I think that's the only difference here that I'm looking at. There's the Dragoness, which is not normally played. Yeah, Debris does bring it back in attack position. I don't know if they can convert it or not, but it would be a direct shot if they're forced to leave the Whitestone in attack position. So this is a situation where it could matter. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe they're just going to Black Rose blow up the field. Okay, and it looks like they are. They're just going to Black Rose blow up the field. And that's okay? I want to say it's okay. The reason I want to say it's okay because my opponent paid 1,000 for Instant Fusion. Because they paid that 1,000, they're now at 400 life points. I have a monster in my grave that summons itself out for free. and that monster has 400 attack points. So, provided my opponent passes the turn graciously, I will be able to kill them. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but they have already normal summoned. They don't have the life points for another instant fusion. They are kind of hands tied unless they're able to get a Red Eyes monster in their graveyard for the Wyvern to bring back. And even then, they can't bring it back because they normal summon this turn. So I think we win the game. I'm like fairly certain we do. I think we have guaranteed lethal. I could be wrong. My opponent could be playing something crazy. Don't get me wrong. They could be on some new tech. They've shown a few differences in their list. Okay, they're just going to pass. And then, of course, barring DD Crow, which is what we're going to use right now. Activate Plague. Special summon. We'll stack the Iron Wall because both the Trag and the Torrential are important. And then we're able to attack for exact lethal. Wow, what a game. What a game. We were very fortunate that game. I think we were very, very fortunate. Our draws were really good. The Ryza was pretty good. Our opponent setting the cards, turning off their own Gores. That was great for us. I think Mind Crush is great. I think Battle Fader is pretty good. I think Electrovirus is very good. I think Vanity's Fiend and the Crows are pretty good. Iron Wall and Crow do conflict a little bit. So we might want to consider that. I don't think Storm and Trunade are necessary. I do like to keep Typhoon and Dust Tornado in, though. Trag and Gores are honestly kind of bad because of the Drago stuff. But our opponent didn't really show Drago. They might be boarding in more because of how badly Colossal Fighter hurt them. I don't know, though. Iron Wall seems a little sus just because they Trunade us and we don't play Dark Bribe. I'm going to board down one on Iron Wall, and I am going to board down... Do I want to board down on enemy controller or not? Yeah, I think White Knight Dragon is going to give us some trouble. And having too many like targeting cards that aren't really chainable. Like booking a Debris Dragon isn't even good for us because we can't run it over with any of our dudes. So that would be my biggest thing for book. Maybe it's one of the Dust Torrential things. Starlight Road seems okay to leave in. Maybe it's the last book. This could be wrong. But I think we're just going to try this. If they really get us with Drago or we see multiple Dragos, we'll definitely consider siding out some of our dark special summon monsters. But until then, I think we're going to leave stuff like Gores and Trag. Okay, they're letting us go first again. I really don't understand this. I'm going to be honest, I really don't understand this from the opponent. This is not right. In Edison format, this is for sure not right. You definitely always want to go first. It gets you an extra +1 for free. In this format, card advantage is more important than anything else. Positioning, also very important. If you go first, you have all the tempo in your favor. You're the one who's calling the shots. Until your opponent is, okay, here's a Debris Dragon normal summon. That's totally fine. They're going to banish it for Red Eyes. I'm going to ask priority to see if they want to activate the effect. Okay, the effect is good, and then we are going to Torrential on the summon of that. Nice little 3 for 2 from us, and that's that, I guess. We could next turn make a Colossal Fighter. Not opposed to that. Let's just go with Thunder King attack. And then if they have Gores or Trag, main phase 2, we might consider rekindling and making a fusion. Or not a fusion, a Synchro Monster. Thunder King's good. It's going to prevent all the Whitestone shenanigans. It's going to prevent another Red Eyes Darkness Metal from coming into play. And then we've got DD Crow and Gores to back up our Thunder King as well here. This matchup can be very scary because when they do go off, they go off hard. But I think burning your resources like our opponent did it's not ideal. Okay, this is a good start. They're going to be able to actually search because they cleared the Thunder King here with the Whitestone. Blue Eyes is going to be searched. So they have Blue Eyes and they have 2 other cards. Here's a Wyvern that's going to attack directly. We are going to special summon Gores, which is going to be bad for our opponent. In every sense of the word, bad for the opponent. And they're going to move to end phase, activate Super Rejuvenation just to cantrip. Now we kind of really do get to do it to him. I think we have lethal damage, and I think we're just going to go for it. I'm going to summon the Fire Dog. I'm going to rekindling back the Flamvell Magician. I'm going to switch both my monsters, and we're just going to go to town. Fire Dog attacks over the Wyvern. This is going to get us a Flamvell Magician from our deck. We're going to be able to attack for 2,800 plus 4,500, which is super duper lethal. I think our opponent burned their resources a little aggressively here. Maybe they have Gores. No GGs. Well, GG's Plazer V. You kind of got rocked. But my advice for you is don't ever let your opponents go first in this format. It's just wrong. Second off, don't blow your load before it does anything. If your big play, your big 3-card play that you have in your hand loses to every trap card in the game, and I have a trap card, maybe don't do it. You weren't really under that much pressure. I just said a monster. If it's something like a spy, you have a couple turns before you really need to do anything. You kind of want to get the most out of your cards, and I think just throwing your cards away like that doesn't really get the most of them. Also here, if you do lose to Gore's Firedog, maybe don't play into Gore's Firedog. Maybe just set the Wyvern. Maybe just play a little bit more passively. Hold up your resources a little bit more. Go for your OTKs. And it'll give you a lot more wins when you normally would take Ls, like this game here. Anyway, GG's Plazer V. Maybe a little upset, but hopefully you learned something from this. Smash like, subscribe. Peace.